Okay. Good evening, folks. This is the Tuesday night Democracy Delivered Sentinels and Guardians and in Effect staff call. Anyone that dedicatedly supports our endeavor, this is the meeting. And those premium members that are interested in listening as well. Alex, if you could text Henry or email him. I just remember that he likes to listen to these Tuesday night calls too. If you don't have his number, I can forward that to you as we move on here in a couple minutes. So,
let me check really quick if I have it. Okay,
great. And if not, I will just type it into the box here just to make sure. Just want to get him what he needs. Okay, and I'll just put it right here in chat.
Yeah, send it to me, please.
Okay,
I don't have it.
Okay,
great.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay, guys, we got a $10.5 million today, and it's sitting in a pile right here next to me, and all we need to do is reach out as a team and grab it. It just sits right there. About 2 million of it is earmarked. Most of that is for you guys to help us move on to other things. But with that 10 million, I have got some gentle premonition of philosophically where we like to go as founder. I rely on Justin and Wade and Aaron and some of the key folks that are, I've known from the very beginning, just to help shape some of the premonition as to what you'd like to do with that 10 million. I only think we need 2 million of it to become very dangerous. With that 10 million, we've got about 10,000 folks that sit here with us, ready to move in any direction. We've gained their loyalty and trust over time, and now we can grow to something bigger. There'll be a series of programmatic policy, process concerns and headaches and challenges and joys and folks that expect to get reimbursed sooner than we can reimburse them, and issues that pop up, and folks we have to uninvite from our wonderful reality. But all of that is just a few minutes away from us with some alignment, focus, and effort. Your roles would be completely virtual. You can help fill your roles around your schedule as your biorhythms are most amenable. You can jump into different areas of the company that are most appropriate and that you can feel most rewarded by, and you can do real work that has absolute dedicated impact. Along with that, we'd be building a philanthropic mechanism that is unparalleled, and eventually we could build maybe the world's largest private social security system for folks that can get to a smartphone and want to exist in a very safe, dedicated, honorable reality that keeps its promises and commitments. So that's what sits just around the corner. All we need to do as a team is get our commitments and goals into each other, get them organized, structured, get them gently measured, and do it for a period of time, so that then I can go out and show you to others in the world that would invest in our mechanism. And we want to get that organized in as early as 10 days so I can begin those conversations. Your roles are not dedicatedly set in stone, but they would have to be for a short period of time so we can get organized and get focused. I will come to you very quickly with questions like, what else does this entity need to become professional and successful? Each of you has opinions as to what that is already, and almost all of you has a vote or a dedicated input to what that shapes and becomes. At this point, I am an executive facilitator to help gather your thoughts and move us in a collective direction. So that's where we arguably sit. There are a lot of transactional things I can discuss in that process, but they are gelling and coming together. With that said, I'm going to turn the mic over to each of you just to kind of brief where you are. We're going to end up with Aaron. He's going to share his thoughts structurally as to what he needs from us to help us over the next week or two just get better organized. and then we're going to have a little discussion as to what that means. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go down the list. I see Alex is on top, but let's see here. Let's just start with Mike Moyers. If you can talk about a little bit about who you paid, where we stand on the Bank of America transition, what pens, and just do it in a factual manner because there'll be a bunch of folks that listen to this call, okay?
Yeah, sure. So as you know, our original bank was Wells Fargo, and we were with them for a period of time. We explored their bill pay feature to pay our folks and keep track of that. It became a little cumbersome and pricey, so we explored other options. We've recently opened up an account, actually 2 business accounts, same as we similar fashion as we had with Wells Fargo with Bank of America, and we now are poised to start using Bank of America. Where Tim Davidson and I are in close communication with that. He's got a whole team of folks that he's using kind of to help advise us on the best way and most economical way to both pay folks on a long-term basis and protect and control our funds. So we're in a little bit of a transition period as we roll things from Wells to Bank of America, but we're in a good spot to do that. All the paperwork has been in and signed, and we're just kind of waiting on Tim to give the final word that he's explored all the necessary avenues and is ready to push those buttons. Bank of America has similar payroll services which we've explored, but I'm not sure we're going to use something with it'll be a version of payroll that's the most economical to democracy delivered, in that it's professional, charges the least amount of fees, and still meets our objectives. Does that pretty much cover what you want me to?
Great. No, that's great. Okay. And I know you've got some personal goals that you're hitting. Thanks for bringing in the premium members and covering that as necessary. I truly appreciate it. Sammy, you're next on the list. Why don't you just kind of briefly talk about some of the goals you worked out with Wade yesterday?
Sure. So I am getting all of our information and premium customer information updated into Caspio so that we have access to that, to addresses, phone numbers, all that good stuff, and valid emails. And also continuing on to do purchases today. I've reached out to all the premiums, reached out to others and asked if there's any issues with dashboards. I've been getting a lot of responses today, so I'm slowly working through those issues. And after I get all the verifications caught up to today, then we'll be down to a 1 to 2 hour process. Well, about a 1.5 hour process a day. And in the program, we've got a job for a page, as most of you know, that's going to be due on the 2nd of February, and we'll have the check in hand, all that, for $340 on that date. And we'll be looking into further relationship with him and the company. He would be interested in pursuing monthly fees with us for us to help him maintain his website when he goes fully online, sales and that good stuff. And we have another client, another poker company we're talking to right now for the same, much more obviously. And that's what I have right now.
I know you reached out to a number of the premium participants today asking if they have dashboard issues. Can you just kind of summarize some of those?
Yeah, we have a couple of people like Angus, and if they're very active users, they'll either get booted out after a few posts or they can't log in at all. Some of the other issues are just purchases that are not showing up, and in which case we have a lot of unclaimed purchases. So before we gave everybody the new tracking IDs, which also completed today, everyone now has a tracking ID with our system. So everything will track from here on out. We have a few unclaimed purchases, and that's just those customers reaching out and validating that those are theirs.
Great. Awesome. Thanks. Anything else you want to add to the mix?
No, not for the moment.
Okay, great. Justin, I know you're in the background there. Can you kind of cover some of the great goals that you sent me the other day?
So you want me to cover the goals? Okay.
Or whatever you like. Actually, it's your time. So
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, I'll cover the goals. So I just got to remember. So I am working towards trying to get a admin dashboard completed. I mean, that's really the major goal that I'm getting to. So I threw up a few miles. I'm going to try and get to as quickly as possible, and that is get the point totals done. So now we have points and purchases calculating properly, and all of the points are updated on the database. I need to switch over now that I have these accumulated results. I don't have to go and do a calculation every single time somebody logs in, which tends to cause issues. I can now just pull from this one table that I'm generating. So that should hopefully speed up dashboard information and get some things to the dashboard quickly and more accurately. And then I will be working on the ability to see that for admin, to be able to see the accumulation report of everybody's points each month, and then be able to add to their point total if they do something outside of social or what have you, and we have a reason to add points. We can do that, and of course, only a few people will have ability to be able to do that. So those are my goals, and then the admin dashboard obviously will grow from there as we need reporting and different types of things to flow in. So there's a lot of things in the background that got to make that happen, but I'm just kind of taking pieces, and right now I'm swamped with work, and I am bringing on some resources which should hopefully help out with that over the next couple of weeks, but right now I'm pretty swamped. But if I get some downtime or capability, I'll work on it.
great, thanks, Justin. Let's see here. Stacy, you want to throw some words into the mix?
Sure. I don't have anything really exciting to share. The team goals that I talked about last week that Nell and I haven't been changed. She and I were unable to connect this past weekend, and so we are trying to for next weekend. So I don't really have any updates. I did return, finally, my edits to KZ's premium user agreement tonight, and so that should be in your mailbox, KZ, as well as an invitation to meet with me about some policy stuff. And that's it.
Very cool. Thanks, Stacy. You said KZ twice, so I'll head to KZ after that. Thank you.
All right, great, thanks. Stacy, thanks for that information. I'll grab that. One of the things that I'm sitting here thinking about as I'm going through things is, and we talk about it all the time, and we're talking about some policy, and what's the thing that's most important to most of our users. And of course, most of the users are looking at opportunities. How do I benefit from the sites? How do I get my money back? That sort of thing. So I don't know what we have specifically that states anything in the way of policy or even a governing, not a good term, excuse me, a document that basically tells the user, okay, utilize it this way, get paid this way, that sort of thing. So I think that might be the good piece of material that we use in essence to explain to people how to use it, what to do, and how they get reimbursed for it. And it might be sort of just a stepping stone for things. So I might be wrong. There might be something that's specifically out there that I'm missing, but I think that might be a good tool that we can probably work towards. Anyways, that's it.
Great, thanks, John.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, you mind if I follow up on that? This is Stacy.
Absolutely.
KZ, we have some frequently asked questions in draft form, and we do hit pieces of that. But what you just said made me imagine something a little bit more clear and concise than what we're working on. So I think that we can easily get at what you're talking about. So I just wanted to let you know it's not as though there's something nice and polished in existence yet, but there's some drafty stuff that I think we can turn into what you described.
And that might, and Stacy may have hit the nail right on the head. It might just be that, just an FAQ where, someone's going to be curious, wanting to know, okay, I use this site, how do I get it? And it might just be that. And that might just be the perfect thing, just an FAQ.
Cool.
Good. Thanks, guys. Casey, any other thoughts?
I'm good.
All right, great. Thank you, Casey. All right, let's see here. I think Wade was with us. Wade, can you hear us? There he is. Wade just joined. We'll give him a second to line back up. Alex, do you have any comments, any thoughts on what your observations you'd like to add?
I really don't have any. I have, however, need to connect with Sammy to go over a couple of items that we were supposed to go over last week or last weekend, and we didn't connect. So I'm going to be connecting with her. And also, I've been talking to a couple of family members, and so I will probably connect with you again just to kind of go over as to what I need to say specifically, and then take it from there. We'll see what happens with that.
Great, thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. And Wade, we'll head to you if you're available.
I'm available. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So what I've been working on is the Optum pharmacy program, and just get that completed this week today. Get everything finalized. So now we're just looking to sign the contracts for Democracy Delivered. So anybody that uses the Optum pharmacy network to purchase their pharmaceuticals, the company Democracy Delivered will receive $3 for every time every time somebody uses the card. That'll go directly to the actual company as $3. And then also the drug itself will be discounted anywhere between 10 to 60%. Name brand drugs are deeper discounts than generics. So that'll be done we'll have that totally done by this week, and then we just have to build out the infrastructure of the card numbers and the bin numbers themselves.
Wade has stated that so understatedly. That is a huge amount of revenue.
Huge. Oh my goodness. I'm doing backflips here.
It's a big deal. And I have to credit Wade for his years of relationships, years of experience. And he's really leveraged that benefit for a pinnacle opportunity for this company, and we really appreciate it. So, if you think about the volume associated with some of that impact, there are companies out there that would just exist just to have that structure of an opportunity and deal, and that would be the focus of their efforts. So I hope I capture that, Wade, with the due amount of diligence that it deserves. Yeah, you want to talk about that any more about it at all, if you'd like?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it's really simple how it works. The member will go to the drugstore and use the bin numbers just like you would if you had health insurance bin numbers. And once that number goes into, say, your Walgreens or your CVS, that numbers will be there to stay. And then anytime you get drugs at that store, you'll get a deep discount, just as if you had a Optum health insurance plan with Boeing or something like that. So then the referral fee is what they call in the contract will be sent to Democracy Delivered. So anybody can use the card, anybody that's part of Democracy Delivered, any family member they can use the card. And it's just a matter of distributing it and making sure people understand that they can use it and it's very easy to use. And the other thing I'm working on is getting new members to Democracy Delivered, actually premium members to Democracy Delivered. And my goal is 10, and I'm about 3 away from making that goal.
Wade is he's so understated in his process. So, brother, thank you. Any other comments that you want to add there? I know you and Sammy met on Friday, and if you can kind of talk about the focus of that. I bring it up just to show you that folks are actively working for the company on regular hours. So, any comments about that meeting?
Yeah, with that meeting, talking to Sammy, there needs to be more of an infrastructure inside the company itself when it comes to organization, because we have names, numbers, member information spread out over the organization. We just need to have it in one central location. I would like to have a report that shows how many members we have, how many members shopped, how many members socialized, just to get a running blood pressure or heartbeat of the company as we grow it. So that's what Sammy's doing. So if anybody can help out Sammy, one of her tasks before the end of the month is to gather every premium member, all their information, their actual phone number, their actual real address, their most likely email for them to use, and have all that in one location so we can look at it. If I need to talk to Alex or Moyers or Aaron, I can just, if I feel as though I want to write them a letter, I can just find their address and send them a letter from that database.
Very good. Any other comments, Wade?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to head to, did everyone have the opportunity to speak besides Aaron so far on the line? Just want to make sure. I think we covered everyone. Great. I just want to leave some time for Aaron to talk about his focus. Aaron, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am. I think we missed some people, but I guess you really want me to get going here.
Well, did I? I'm sorry. No, I did. I missed Pat. Sorry. Let me hold on one second, Aaron. I apologize. Pat, I missed you.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say. Thanks.
Sorry, just want to give everybody a chance and not have anybody slighted. Okay.
You're so quiet up there, brother. We'll catch you next.
Snuck on there.
Okay, very good.
So, Stu had asked me to take a look at people's goals and then somehow arrange them and then use our key performance indicators and try to get things organized, our activities and how they're going to relate to how we'd like to see the company grow. So I think I'm echoing everybody, that we want to be efficient about what we work on. We don't want to work on things that don't really move the company along at this time. Because we have very few permanent staff. So at this point, I think Stu feels that the company is mature enough to start to get better organized on what we're doing and how we're going to, and we can start measuring so we know whether we're meeting the desired outcomes. So I'm going to try and put together a logic model which would take your goals and then those would inform activities. And I'm trying to bucket the activities like a lot of people are doing marketing like activities. Other people are doing website development. Actually, there's a lot of finance type KPI. Participation is key to our success, so there'll be a lot of measurement there. Website operations, as you know, it's not operating well. That's not going to, we need to keep an eye on that. And then I haven't forgotten, and I'm sure other people on the phone, that we have a philanthropic arm that we want to get going. So this is all going to go in this grand kind of spreadsheet, but you'll be able to also view it if it's not too complicated. And then from the activities, and there has to be accomplishments. We'll all agree on that. And then Stu has his own work to do, because I'm going to nail him down on outcomes like growth of the company, revenue. Does he have some goals? Charitable contribution, growing the endowment is something we want to do. And then the whole site is predicated on participation. So we'll definitely have some participation goals. And then the other thing is Stu talks about our strategic goals. We all hear them. We all want to get to them. So we're going to nail those down and connect all this tissue together and match names to goals, and line up and ID the key performance indicators that can be extracted from your activities that you do, and this will then eventually inform measures of effectiveness for the company, and hopefully have a company performance dashboard at the end that everybody can view. So on the KPI side, just so to review, we have actually 14 financially related KPI: assets, liabilities, commission received, recurring expenses, non-recurring expenses, commissions. And then we have 13 participant or site operations related KPI: average daily users, daily points, activity, non-revenue activity, revenue generating activity, virtual mall, average daily users, and this would be also any activity we would have on the site. So it'd be number of daily users, commissions, purchases or values of purchases, or value of work, how much work is done. And then obviously number of participants is critical: premium, regular, pledged, paid, acknowledged. And then it's still out there is some philanthropic KPI. Right now I only have one, and that is the charitable arm endowment balance, which we would be getting from the company 0.5%. That's all I have.
Great, thank you so much, Aaron. That's awesome. So you get a sense for the crystallizing of our organization, which is really pretty cool. I just want to leave you. I'm going to have open discussion here for anyone that wants to discuss any topic, but if you compare our entity to other endeavors, so many of IT initiatives that exist really begin and then are never produce any revenue for a long period of time, and then even have negative earnings per share for an extended period of time, but raise millions of dollars up front. I just want to thank you all. If you look at what we've done as a team, pulling together, raising about $120,000, getting to where we are now. We have a number of sources of revenue, albeit small, but they exist in terms of our online work, shopping mall, now our prescription and non-prescription drug program that exists, thanks to Wade. Advertising is another line that does not exist yet, but is clearly there. So the sources of potential income for the site all exist in very tangible forms in other areas. So I use that example at the beginning of the call, saying, there's our initial $10 or $11 million just sitting there. We just have to go get it because it exists. We've defined those terms, those parameters, the structure. We're going to do so in full transparency, full honesty, and every single participant that enjoys this reality will enjoy a level of decorum that they can truly feel comfortable with. So that's very important. That's it on official comment. So I'm just going to open up the line. I think Mike Beach joined us. Mike, can you hear us by chance?
I can, Mike. I can hear you.
Okay, great. Did you have any comments? I know that you were talking about your focus is going to be an external outreach program. Do you want to communicate any of your
Right.
plans on that?
Not at the moment because I'm actually seated with Melissa and listening to the meeting.
Okay.
She's not part of the meeting, but I'm going to have some thoughts together, and I'd like to reach out to everybody probably sometime tomorrow.
Okay, great. What's the temperature in Miami right now? Okay, he dropped off the line. I think he's out at a tiki bar right now, which is wonderful. Okay, folks, I will. Any other open comments on any topic?
Hey, Mike, this is Stacy. And I don't know if y'all want to get bogged down in this with me tonight, but I'm just not understanding the pharmacy card. And that might be something that I just need to connect with Wade on individually, unless there are other folks on the call who aren't understanding as well. If it's just me, I can take care of my needs on the side by connecting with people individually.
No, it's a wonderful question. Let's keep this recorded and open discussion. And Wade, if you want to explain kind of that process a little bit on any level, that'd be great.
Okay. I get to talk more?
You sure do.
Okay.
Thank you, Wade.
This pharmacy card business has been part of my life now for about 10 years. So there's a whole thing background that goes into learning about pharmacy management, pharmacy benefit management, that you really don't need to get into, but there's a whole industry out there, and the industry is basically trying to get you to go to a pharmacy, one pharmacy versus another, and buying that particular drug at that pharmacy versus another. And it's a battleground of major pharmaceutical companies that are trying to get your dollar spent at Walgreens versus CVS, and trying to get your dollar spent for using this drug versus another drug, using brand name versus a non-brand name. And these battles are waged primarily in the structure of an insurance company or a health insurance company or major groups. These battles are waged, but also there's a sector of, it's called consumer-driven healthcare, which is this sector, and consumer-driven healthcare is what this pharmacy PBM management thing does. So we're going to be part of the Optum consumer-driven healthcare thing, and what it does is it rewards us for driving consumers to Walgreens, CVS to buy their drugs versus another drugstore. So we're taking a customer away from one drugstore and sending him to another, and it's really just very similar to what goes on our shopping platform, except it's just on the level of drugs. So it really took me 10 years to find the deal that I'm bringing to the table. Somebody off the street or somebody that doesn't know that these things exist wouldn't really know how to get the deal that I'm bringing to the table. It's taken really years of relationships and connections to get this deal, based on my old company, old relationships and connections. So does that explain it at all?
A little bit. I'm just not sure who the people are. And so it's not that members of DD will get a new card to go to the pharmacy, is it?
Yep. So
It
anybody that is part of Democracy Delivered will have access to the pharmacy card.
Okay.
Have you ever seen? Well, I will take it. Have you ever seen like commercials? If you're aware of this, maybe you'll start seeing it. Like, have you heard of Good RX?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, that's the same exact thing. So we're Good RX, except we're Democracy Delivered RX.
Okay, so
Okay, I
what's,
just wasn't clear on which direction the membership was going. I didn't know if we were going to take Optum members and make them Democracy Delivered members, or if we were taking Democracy Delivered members and making them Optum members. That's what I'm not understanding is the people.
We're using the Optum network, pharmacy network, and we're sending Democracy Delivered members to the Optum network, and the Optum network is rewarding us with a referral fee of $3 for every drug that's filled.
Yeah, it's online work. Correct?
Got it. Thank you for breaking that down to the most basic elemental form for me, Wade. I needed that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's really not Aaron. Is that Aaron? That said online work. It's really more online shopping. It's just as if
You're selling. Yeah, I agree. It's just another form, something that's for sale.
Yeah, it's just another form of something for sale, and we're getting the reward back, just like a referral fee that we get from Amazon,
right?
Or used to get from Amazon, or get from Walgreens or whatever. It's the same thing.
Okay, so it's like Optum has an affiliate sort of situation.
Yeah, it's deeper than that, but yeah.
Where do you think this is all going to reside on the site? Is it going to be a little sign-on, or is it going to be? We're going to have like another like mall. Well, it won't be mall. It would just be labeled whatever.
I think it'll just be It'll be a tile on the mall, and it'll be pharmacy benefits.
All right, that's what I was wondering. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
No, it's great. In the true spirit of our company, it just gives you another choice or an option. And for those members that don't have healthcare coverage, we can pass on a reduced price for routine prescription and non-prescription drugs that they otherwise might not have enjoyed, and a much greater discount. And then the group can decide, what portion of that feeds operating costs, and but it's a huge economic benefit. And even if you do have health coverage, you have another choice that you can compare with options to see which is a better benefit, which is huge. So, and then as we gain in our constituency, that large group has much more leverage. And as Wade surely knows, then that's greater negotiating power, not only with pharmaceutical companies, but with healthcare networks in general. And I think if we keep the spirit of looking out for someone that doesn't have many or other options, and keep that at the forefront, we can push against other areas that are purely profit driven, that kind of butt up against our company, which is great. So. Awesome.
The more we participate, the higher our referral fee goes. So if we have over 10,000 fills per month, our fee goes to $3.25. So that's 10,000 times $3.25. And with dental plans with less than 10,000 members, we were averaging about 25,000 fills a month. So you can see that we could get to 100,000 fills pretty quickly if we had 10,000 members. That's per month. Because unfortunately, everybody in America is on some kind of pharmaceutical.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome, guys. Any other questions on that?
Yeah.
Why not make money on it, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's great discussion. Okay, and there's some great questions coming in that the group might not see on the recorded line, but John Kondratowicz is noting that we just need to develop a good program to advertise and explain. This is such a new development that we will do that, but it see the implied value in the entity, which is great. So, all right, any other topics? Okay.
Nope.
All right, great. Thanks, Wade. If you've not gotten your, Aaron's going to start to do his amazing work, and I really mean that. And we're going to help him do that. So we all kind of are feeding Aaron's brain the next week. So please be receptive to any questions you might have as this kind of begins to process through. And I think you're going to see just by you submitting those committed goals, we're a different entity. Just by getting them organized, we're a different entity, and the value streams that exist. I think you're seeing the inherent value, the net present value of our corporation is growing by the minute, which is great. So awesome. Thank you so much for your time and dedication. Alex, if you could stop recording now, we'll just go into an open discussion time for anything. Thank you so much.